Hi friends, welcome back to Open Happiness. Today we are diving into one of the most psychologically complex movies I have seen in years, God's Crooked Lines. It's not just a thriller, it's a maze built inside a human mind, and you, the viewer, are trapped right there with the main character, Alice Gould. What makes this film so fascinating isn't just its twist, it's how that twist grows organically from the story itself. Unlike movies that jump scare you with a sudden reveal, God's Crooked Lines doesn't trick you. The confusion you feel is no accident, it's the very design of the film. The film opens calmly. A woman walks into a psychiatric hospital with elegance and confidence. To the hospital, she is just another patient being admitted. But from her eyes, and therefore ours, she seems like a private investigator on a mission to uncover a murder hidden within these walls. She blends in, observes in silence, and begins her investigation, calm, methodical, and completely convinced of her purpose. She believes one patient was murdered and that the hospital has covered it up. But then, small cracks begin to show. Some files don't exist. Some incidents she describes are missing from the records. And the letter she mentioned, no one else has ever seen it. Then comes the moment that changes everything. The chief doctor sits across from her, calm and composed, and tells her something she is not ready to hear. She is not here as an investigator. She is here as a patient. The air shifts. For a second, we don't know who to believe, her confidence or his certainty. Slowly, we begin to feel what she feels, that quiet panic of being right when everyone insists you are wrong. That's the real heartbeat of the movie, not horror, but gaslighted intelligence. She is brilliant, but maybe brilliance itself is a delusion. Then comes the sequence everyone talks about, the fire, the death, the memory. At first glance, it feels like clarity. We see the flames, the chaos, and we assume, yes, this is the fire Alice caused. That's the guilt behind everything. But a few scenes later, the director gently rewinds our belief. Suddenly, the same fire seems like a flashback, the old fire from the previous case she is investigating. We sigh in relief, so she is innocent after all. And then it happens again. The narrative folds over itself and shows us that this was indeed the fire ignited by Alice. The same scene reappears, but context shifts and the meaning burns everything we thought we knew. It's not a twist that jumps out, it's an organic shift that evolves from our own assumptions. The film doesn't fool us, we fool ourselves, and that's what makes it haunting. As everything unfolds, the chief doctor keeps trying to convince us that Alice is delusional, that every word, every detail is part of her illness. At the same time, Alice is trying just as hard to convince us that she is the investigator, not the patient, and that her version of events is the truth. We are caught right in the middle, unable to decide who is right, because at any point the film balances both sides so precisely that it keeps us guessing. Every time we start to believe one, the other sounds just as convincing. And amidst all this confusion, chaos breaks out. A brutal murder, the hospital in panic, and the fire we heard about earlier suddenly takes over the screen. When the flames settle, calm returns. The hospital declares Alice normal, fit to leave. The doctors seem satisfied. The tension finally dissolves. For a moment, it feels like the story has reached its end. Maybe she really was the investigator. Maybe she was right all along. And then the door opens. A man walks in. The same man Alice had told everyone had hired her for the investigation. His arrival changes everything again. In that instant, The entire story flips again. Was Alice ever an investigator at all? Or was everything we saw just a reality carefully built inside her mind? The film doesn't explain, it simply fades, leaving us hanging between the two versions of truth, exactly where Alice has always been. And when he appears in that final frame and the credits begin to roll, I found myself rushing back to the very first scene, trying to piece it all together, only to end up even more lost than before. God's Crooked Lines isn't a film that depends on one final twist like Shutter Island. Its twist is organic, it grows naturally from the story itself, shaping every moment until the line between the truth and delusion disappears completely. It doesn't give us clear answers, it gives us doubt, and somehow that doubt feels more satisfying than certainty. It's not just Alice who is caught between two versions of reality, it's us. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this reflection, do like, share, and subscribe.